Let's create a mini planet out of clay for our Out of This World art show. This lesson is inspired by the lesson by Art Fun with Mrs. C. You can see some of her pictures of creating this clay planet with her students here. You will also have the opportunity to use these amazing Jungle Gems glazes after this project is fired so that you can make some amazing clay planets. Let's get started. You will start with some clay. Work it together between your hands using water and your palms till it's all the clay is compressed together. Then throw it down onto your table to create a slab. I would throw it down 5 or 6 times and then use your palm to press the clay out until it's about as thick as a cookie. I like to pick it up and flip it over to help to make the clay nice and even. Then we will use a bowl, and that will be how we create our pot form. So you just gently wrap the clay around the bowl and then cut off the extra clay. Make sure that after you cut that extra clay off, you form the clay to the bowl. If it's kind of pushing in, you might have to turn it over and flip it back out, and then start to make craters into your planet. I'm just using a finger or 2 fingers to make texture onto my planet, and I'll show you a few other ways that you can create texture later. This is just a way to make your planet look more interesting. You can also use tools to create dots on your planet, and if you want to poke holes all the way through, that's an option as well. Just make sure that the bottom and the edges stay nice and strong and they're not getting too thin when you're working with adding texture. If you have time and extra clay, take that extra clay, roll it into a ball, and you can also create your very own alien pinch pot to live on or next to your planet. Whenever we create a pinch pot, we roll our clay into a ball, we turn it, pinch and turn, and pinch and turn to create a hollow pot. You can tap the pot onto the table to make it flat, and then add things to it to create details and create an alien. The cool thing about aliens is you can turn them into anything you want. Make sure that any form that you add to your pinch pot, you score, make little lines, and slip. Dip your finger in the water to make clay glue. You can draw things into your clay and stamp things as well, using spheres and snake shapes to create the different details onto your alien. And again, just make sure that you score, slip, and then smooth out anything that you attach so that it does not fall off. Make sure nothing's too skinny or too heavy. Make it all about the size of your pinky or the thickness of a cookie. And then one final touch that you can add if you want to make a little slab to have your name be on your planet, maybe like you wrote it into the planet or you brought a sign with you. Attach that by scoring and slipping and writing your name on your planet so that you can find it at the art show. Remember, we won't be able to add color right away. We let our clay dry first and then we fire it to make it stronger in the kiln. Alright, one more example just to make sure we know. Our first job is to take our clay and work it together between our hands with water, making sure all of the clay particles come together. Then slam your clay down onto the table probably 5 or 6 times and start to get it nice and flat. You just need to stand up and throw the clay down. Once you've done it 5 or 6 times, then take your palm, not your fingers, and press the clay out. Once you've done it 5 or 6 times with your palm, I would flip it over just so that it stays even, pressing the clay from the inside out until it's about as thick as a cookie or about as thick as your pinky finger. So we want to make sure that the clay will cover our bowl mold. So once you have made it about that thick and it's big enough to go over the bowl, then you can put it over the form. One other option for you is to press a texture into the clay before putting it on the bowl. I tried this time doing it with newspaper, but I found out that the bowls didn't need the newspaper on them. Once you have formed it over your bowl, go ahead and cut the extra clay off. I would roll it into a ball so that it doesn't dry out once you have cut that off. Okay, make sure that your bowl isn't collapsing, just being gentle as you are pressing different textures like craters for your planet. Brainstorm and think about what types of textures your planet will have as you're adding these details in. You can use your fingers and different clay tools to create these textures. Again, if you want to make some holes into them so that you can see all the way through, that is fine as well. Once you are happy with the texture and details of your planet, take your extra clay, roll it into a ball. You can use some water to make it smooth. Poke a hole in the center and pinch and turn to create your very own mini pinch pot alien. Remember that pinch pots can be turned in different directions and you can add any details you would like. So anything that you attach, make sure that you score and slip, and then you can draw in details to it as well. You can also draw your name into your planet instead of adding a slab, and then the last step that I will help you with is adding a small hole in the top so that you can later attach your astronaut to be floating over your planet. Once these are dry and fired, we will add color and our astronauts so that they can be in our Art is Out of This World art show. Thanks Art Fun with Mrs. C for the lesson plan idea.